Yes, that is a very good question. How is it can we, you mean, craft our educational system to benefit us?
Yes, sir.
Yes, the educational system of our people must be crafted mainly in two ways. Mainly, we must focus on teaching people on how to value being a human being and valuing their existence in on earth. Number two, we must also educate a human being on independence. How can a human being can stand on his own and have his own values and motives. Then now, one of also the distinctive things we can look into, a young person must be educated in a manner that he or she can stand upright and face the world that it is today.
Well, with that being said, from the system as we are today, for our future, how do you think our identity, what would you say to the future, the importance of our identity is?
Yes.
Why is our identity important today? Why should it be important?
The identity of black people.
Yes.
The identity of black people is very much important. We must remember that black people, we are who we are today because of what we are. What we are is identity. Now we must look back at what we are. What we are can shape what we can be. So our identity must speak to the to a future that we are going to resonate. That is a brighter future. That is a successful future. A dignity of a black child is when a black child knows the importance of him being alive and the importance of him being in this world and the importance of him living amongst people and living in tune with nature. We must understand that our dignity is the most important thing that we can use to change our future generation. We cannot be squandered around with an identity that is not of our own, because if we are derailed from our own identity, then it means we do not know where we are going. We are being misled. This is true. When we lose our identity, it means anybody can come and confuse us of what we know. And it's dangerous living as black people, allowing someone to come and confuse us of what we know. They must perish, those people who are confusing us of our identity.
Yes. And from that, how do you think, Tina, as Abasiyal Kabilan Africans, how do we gain our dignity in this today world or in the future? What is it that we're supposed to do, or how can we gain our dignity?
Yes. The biggest thing that we are facing and the biggest solution in this whole world is education. Black people must be African people, and all the people must be educated. Education is the symbol of what future we want to be. Black people must be given the education of their history, of their origin, of where they come from. Who was your father before you became a son? Who was your mother before you became a daughter? What were they doing? What were the ways were they doing which you can apply in this generation of the now in an evolved manner? Education. That African people must be educated from schools. We are tired of being saying these things of schools. We are tired of schools that are educating us about the history of other people. And those other people, they come here and put their own history. Now I'm sitting on top of somebody's history and it's his identity. You understand what I'm saying? Which is very wrong. As a black person, our statues are only filled with people who fought for dignity. Can you imagine? We have statues of people who fought for dignity. Right now there's another one of Mandela who fought for dignity. It's there. You see? That's the problem. There's no history. It's just people dying because they want dignity.
So you just even mentioned Utatu Rolihlahla. So it's very profound how these questions are linking up. Do you think he sold out? Sold us out? What are your thoughts on that?
No, deliberately we cannot say that Rolihlahla Mandela sold us out. We are aware of European people and white people specifically with their tactics of coming here and trying to confuse us of our own identity. Unfortunately, Nelson Mandela is a victim of them. But we must understand that we have people in this African continent of ours who have a mandate, and their mandate is clear. Their mandate is to take what belongs from us. So they use our own brothers to attack us, but we cannot say our brothers must die. They are our leaders. Nelson Mandela is our leader. He fought amongst with other leaders for us to have the simplest democracy that we have today. But the struggle was not fought at all. Nelson Mandela left us a trail that we must continue. But we acknowledge that his history still prevails, and then now we understand that the mandate is clear. He's our leader, and with him we are going to be aware of more white people who are going to send us to prison, who are going to try to use means of money, are going to try to use means of threats, death, to try and sabotage our own people. Thank you. And to Rolihlahla Nelson Mandela, we acknowledge those mistakes, and us as young people, we are not going to do those things.
So that said, what are your thoughts on unity?
Yes, unity is very serious. First, we must unify black people. We are not going to go far and say we must be united with Europeans specifically. When they are the first ones who said they must see, when they are the first ones who separated them from us, we were one. When we came, we saw them and said, Shem, these people, Shem, Hashem. Them, they are the ones who went deliberately on going to say, we are not like you. So, black people must be united. All black people. All black people. Indian, Chinese, all the black people must be united. And then we can unite us ourselves with white people and other things. Because we must understand that we must restore our dignity as black people before we can have a unity of dignity. I cannot become a white person, enter into unity. I cannot become a black person, enter into this unity. Me still thinking a white person is superior. It's wrong. That is what we did in democracy. Black people entered in democracy way, it was unity, but they entered with that unity of saying that a white person is superior than them. That's why they were employed. That's why we had domestic people, even though there was no more even though democracy was there. We had black people shaking hands with white people. They work for them, and for a black person to talk to a white person, it's nice. You want to take a picture and show them at home. No.
So, just in closing, you speak a lot about identity and dignity, and then within our culture, what we find profoundly important in development of what identity and dignity is, as a conversation. What is your thoughts on Koma?
Yes, first of all, Koma, another meaning of it is a secret. It's peel.
Yes, sir.
Koma is peel. The reason it was like that because Koma was where you find purpose.
Yes, sir.
How do you find purpose? Normally, African people, they are not people. African people are not people. You have a soul. That soul is there. It's that soul that gives you visions, thoughts, where you want to see yourself in life, how you perceive things. Now, when a person is born, a person is attached to a soul. The soul is a reincarnation or a new formication, a new recreation of another soul that is to partake in this world and continue a purpose. So, when you come back in the physical skin, inside yourself as an African child, you know this, you have a soul. But that soul, you need to acknowledge it, you need to recognize it. You need to know that this is who I am. The soul is who you are. It's what drives the body. So Kokomeng is where a child or a young person finds the soul, their purpose, what they came for here in life. Mainly some examples to say that, let's say they call you Moshakudi. Moshakudi was a person of medicine. He was a person who liked talking, man. He was a person who liked to preach. He was a person who liked to also change things and try to be more creative. And then, when you are born in the spiritual realm, you are somehow and deliberately going to be attached to the soul. It means when you are born, you are actually Mohlakulelo. You are that person who is there again to continue a certain purpose that you have been perpetuated in your degree of your generation. So, all of us as African people, we are not new into this world. Get this straight. Black child, we are not new. We have been here. And even me, I have been here. I was with the white people, they chased me with dogs. I went to prison. I was along with my mothers. It was tough. I came back now, I'm in 2000. You see my back. I'm fighting again. Even you were there. Whatever that you were doing, you were there and you are still going to continue. But you must acknowledge that person. Acknowledge the soul. Acknowledge the purpose. How do you find the soul? Find what you want to do in this world. And if you're on your deathbed, it's the only thing you will think about. That is your purpose.